guys, it's Chantel from Choose Love Blog, and today I am doing a different kind of video. We're not talking makeup or health. We're actually going to be doing a DIY video. Ooh, ooh. If you guys follow me on Instagram, then you know I recently did a wood panel vinyl accent wall at a friend's house, and I'll actually be doing it today at my house on this wall here. So tons of questions were sent to me asking like how I did it, what I use, how much it costs, all that. And I figured, you know what, I'll just bring you guys along on the journey just in case you want to bring a super inexpensive and cool look to your home. So let's jump into what you'll need.
Okay, so here's everything you're going to be needing. Basically a wood piece or something to cut on, because if you cut the wooden planks on your floor, it will scratch, so be mindful of that. You're gonna need a pencil sharpener, a tape measure, some nails. We're using the 1-inch panel board nails from Grip Right. I got these at Home Depot, and we chose this color because the wood that we're using is like a gray distressed, and these blend in fairly nice, but they do have these in different colors if you're going with a lighter vinyl wood, so they have like white and like a lighter gray and all that. Some scissors, a level, a box cutter with sharp blade is really important, a screwdriver in case you might need to take out your outlets, a hammer, and then of course your wood planks. Like I said, we are using the gray distressed, which you can see has like some nice variations of different grays, not kind of like one color only. And let me show you what the box looks like. Here's the wood that you'll be needing. It's by a brand called Traffic Master Self-Stick Vinyl Plank. We got, like I said, the gray distressed wood. I already took out the piece that was here, but when you're in the, oh, little nice hair there. But when you're in the store, you basically can lift up this flap and you'll be able to see the color that you are choosing. This comes with 26 planks in a box, and you have the measurements for them there. So it tells you how much square feet, and this only costs like $34, y'all. So this is a very inexpensive way to just kind of brighten up your home and add some nice flair. So this is what the wood looks like once it's out. As it states on the box, it's got a adhesive back here, which is, I mean, you can see it's pretty sticky, but it's definitely not enough to stay on the wall by itself. How do I know? Because I tried that and it fell off. So you're definitely gonna need these tiny little nails to reinforce it. I basically just did one nail on the end and one nail on that end, so you're doing 2 nails per panel. This is definitely going to ensure that they don't move on your wall. Once if you're ready to remove them, if you don't own your house or whatever the case is, basically you just take a hammer and the middle, because it isn't like nailed in, you can just hook it there, lift, and it'll rip right out. You will have 2 little holes in your wall. Be mindful if you're renting, but it's nothing you can't just patch up and then paint over, so it's not really a huge deal. So what you do basically is kind of lay them out on the floor, and these do have like variation in colors, so it's not just all like gray or the same style, which is nice because it just gives you that appearance of real wood. But I like to lay it out on the floor and kind of get my pattern going, because what you don't want is all your panels to be lined up in the same exact row and then all the lines just stack up. You want them to stagger. Just see how these are just kind of offset, because that, like I said, gives you the appearance of real wood, and it's not just like so perfect and cookie cutter. That's not what we want. As far as cutting goes, these we've kind of, after a lot of trial and error, we have a good system down. So we like to just use that yardstick, you know, measure it out, put a little line, make sure it's as straight as possible, my little helper here, and then use the box cutter. And I will show you the best way in a second to cut these, because like I said, there's a way where you can kind of damage it if you're not careful with what you're doing. So also super important, when you're starting, you want to start from the bottom and work your way up, mainly because of gravity. It's much easier to stack them. Plus, if you get to the smaller points where, you know, your planks aren't exactly the height that you need and you have to like cut, you know, maybe you have like 1 inch or 2 to cover the top, it's more forgiving up there as opposed to the bottom where people can see it better. So start from the bottom and work your way up. Also super important is that when you're doing your first, you know, row of panels, it absolutely has to be level. So you know something's level when you basically put this on top of it and that bubble lands right, let's see if I can catch it, in the middle there. Then you know that is perfectly level, because that's basically your foundation. It's like you're building a house. And then from there on, everything that stacks on top of it should theoretically be nice and level, since it's falling on that straight plane. Yeah, let's get into cutting so you guys can see how that works. All right, so this is just a scrap piece, just to show you an example of how you would cut it. I leave the paper, you can see a piece of it still here. So you want to actually leave the paper part on there, that way this doesn't just stick to the surface. Now, also I want to show you, when you're drawing your line, this is an example of what not to do. You don't want to use a Sharpie, because then when you cut it, then you'll see the line on both, like, left over on there. Like, it's basically too thick. So you want to make sure you're using a pencil, that way it's as, like, hidden as possible, I guess, like, not visible. See, like, you can't even probably see that. Well, you can, I guess, on camera, but it blends in much more with the wood and is a lot more like camouflage, as opposed to using something like that, or even like a dark Sharpie. So use a pencil. And then what you're going to do is use your yardstick, and you're gonna hold this down as steady as possible, and apply as much weight as you can on it. And then you're gonna take your box cutter, and you're gonna go one. Do this as hard as you can, like, because it's not that easy to break through this. So you're gonna do 1, 2, 3. And then what happens is it just will bend like that. Now, obviously this was like not even a straight cut. It's just an example, but yeah, that's the best way to cut these boards. And you're good to go. So let's get started on the wall. Okay, so here's the piece I just cut, and you can see it's pretty good, except as you can see where I missed with the box cutter. I'm gonna shave off that little piece, and then it'll be completely flush with the corner of my wall. But overall, that piece works beautifully. So what I would do next is once I, shave that off, I'll take a nail and hammer there, and then continue moving on. So I'm just gonna keep filming, because you basically just keep repeating that process. Just like that, we are nailing in the last piece. Alright guys, so here is the final product. Don't mind all the wires and all that. We're actually looking for a new TV stand, so we're remodeling like everything here. We're gonna put a new picture there, maybe something up here, who knows. But anyway, I hope you guys found this helpful. Please like and subscribe if you did. Shoot me a comment below if you decide to try this at your home. And until next time, guys.